What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and today I am here with another Cooking with Keisha video. So today we're gonna make my spaghetti and meatballs recipe. This is one of my favorite recipes. It's so rich, it's so decadent. This is a meal that if I had a man, I would fix for him like on his birthday or Valentine's Day. This is a treat meal. Like, it's so freaking good, you guys. Like, trust me. So the ingredients we're going to need are, of course, some spaghetti noodles. We're going to need some breadcrumbs, some Parmesan cheese. I use diced tomatoes as well as crushed tomatoes. We're going to use some goat cheese, some fresh mozzarella, garlic, eggs, olive oil, and I also use ground turkey for my meatballs. You can use regular ground hamburger. You can also use a mixture of pork and ground hamburger, or pork and ground turkey, whichever one you like. As well as various seasonings we'll need as well. So I already have my water boiling with a little bit of olive oil in the pot. I also have some olive oil in my skillet that we're going to cook the meatballs in. So let's get started with making our meatballs. Okay, so we have the ground turkey in the bowl. We're going to season this to our liking. I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning salt in here because you want your meatballs to be flavorful. I'm also going to add some onion powder to this, a little bit of black pepper, and a little bit of salt. Then we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of minced garlic in there. Oh, I think I'm running out of garlic. Then we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of Italian style breadcrumbs. Next up is a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. And lastly, we're going to add in 1 egg. Now we're going to mix that all together and start forming our meatballs. I'll show you how my meatballs look after they're formed in a second. All right, so these are how the meatballs looked formed. I like to make mine big so you can just eat one and it'll really fill you up. So we have that olive oil in the skillet warming up. While that's warming up, I have some olive oil in a pot. We're going to start making our homemade tomato sauce. I never buy tomato sauce out of the jar anymore. I make mine at home. So we have that olive oil getting hot, and normally I'll add fresh onion in there, but I don't have any. So today we're just going to do some garlic. We're going to let that saute for a minute. Then we're going to add the crushed tomato sauce as well as the diced tomatoes to that pan. See, I have that garlic in the pot simmering. Now we're going to add those diced tomatoes to the pot and those crushed tomatoes to thicken that sauce up. And taking it back old school, we're going to add a little bit of water to that can and add a little bit of water to that to make it even more, give us even more sauce. Now we're going to add our seasonings to this. So I just add some garlic powder because I like garlic a lot. We're going to add some basil leaves to that. You know, I don't measure anything. Some crushed red pepper flakes for some spice. Gonna add a little bit of onion powder since I didn't have any fresh onions. Some black pepper, some salt, and a pinch of sugar to this. We're gonna let that simmer. Now on to the meatballs. The skillet is hot. I'm gonna add those to the skillet, and you're gonna let those cook until they brown on each side. But we're not gonna let them cook fully through. We're just gonna let those cook on each side for maybe about 5 minutes each side. Because we're gonna finish them off in our sauce. And I have those meatballs cooking on a medium to high heat. So while they're cooking, our tomato sauce is simmering. Now we're going to go ahead and add those spaghetti noodles to our boiling pot of hot, salted olive oil water. All right, it's time to turn those over. It's been 5 minutes. See, it's nice and golden brown on the bottom. I'm gonna let that cook for another 5 minutes on this side. All right, y'all. So we cooked this for 10 minutes, 5 on each side. As you can see, it's a little pink still in the middle. That's how you want it, because we're gonna finish them off in that tomato sauce that we created. I've turned the heat down to a medium to low heat, as you can see. So we're gonna add that tomato sauce over here into our skillet. Woo! Yes! And this is what makes it really good and decadent. This is where the decadent part comes in at. All right, y'all, to take this up a notch. Remember that fresh mozzarella and that honey goat cheese I was telling you guys about in the beginning part of this video? So we're going to take that fresh mozzarella, and this is what takes it up a notch. And we're going to put some pieces on top of the meatballs so that cheese can melt on top of them. Woo-hoo! Bitch, thank me later. And whatever we have left over, we're just going to crumble it up and add it into that sauce. This is what takes this whole meatball dish to a whole other level, because even the tomato sauce is just dumbass, ooey gooey, and just delicious. And we're gonna do the same thing with that goat cheese. Just gonna put crumbles of goat cheese into that sauce and let it all simmer and come together, and it is fucking delicious. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit more of that basil on top, and we're just gonna let that cook for probably like another 5 minutes. Our noodles are almost done, and then we can fucking plate this shit up. All right, as you can see, that mozzarella cheese is melting. It smells delicious. It's bubbling. Our noodles are already done. It's just waiting on the meatballs now, and we can plate. I'm excited. And bon appetit. We are all done. We're gonna garnish that with some Parmesan cheese. Ooh, look at that. And a little bit more of that basil. Plating is everything. Look at that, y'all. Yes. Spaghetti and meatballs with Parmesan cheese, goat cheese, fresh mozzarella, homemade tomato sauce. Ooh, baby. Thank me later. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you tried my recipe. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell button so you know when all my Cooking with Keisha videos drop. I'm about to dive in.